Prices rising. Yesterday we told you the wheat markets are really going through the roof.
If the cost of food just keeps going up and up, where will consumers cut to make up the difference? And when will we start seeing the cuts? Our Fox panel back now to discuss this. How bad does it have to get, Wayne, before people stop eating as much? I don't know how this works. You go more toward, I'd love to say you go to a protein-based meal, but it doesn't matter. Everything's expensive.
Yeah, well, some people say America's too fat already.
Maybe this will slim us down, right?
That's right. Some people say America's too fat, so maybe we should be slimming down. No, prices are going to increase. We go through this from time to time when we have bad weather, both in the Midwest and the South, wherever, and in California, particularly Southern California, where vegetables are grown. You're going to have this from time to time in Jersey, wherever it may happen, and you're going to have fluctuations in the market, and people will use alternative foods instead of eating this. They'll eat that, and it's a seasonal thing, so it's going to pass.
Well, Peter, I got to give credit where it's due. You've been warning about this for a long time, that the pressure was on commodities, and eventually it's going to change the way we look at life, really.
Sure. I mean, as I pointed out yesterday, you know, true legitimate economic growth causes food prices to fall because farms become more productive and they produce more. But when you have a lot of inflation like we do now, that causes food prices to rise globally, and we're going to see food prices going up dramatically over the next few years.
Where do people cut?
Yeah, here's what people are going to do. Number one, they're going to trade down the food chain. People are going to eat less expensive food. They're going to eat less, you know, meats and less seafood and shellfish and more, you know, potatoes and rice and things like that. And then, of course, they're going to cut back on their discretionary spending as they have to use more of their budget to eat. You know, and of course more of their budget for fuel and all the things that the government excludes from the CPI. That's what Americans are going to be spending their money on. They're not going to have much left over for other things.
Where do we see the cuts first?
Well, hey, look, the good news, Liz, is that real earnings, real income, growth in wages is surpassing the inflation rate, rising faster than the inflation rate. So thankfully, we're making more than the rise in prices.
We're not.
Yes, we are. Sorry, we are. But I don't want to get into that now.
Yeah, let's keep focused.
We are. You know, look, the other thing is that, and Wayne alluded to this, you have a huge drought going on. That's part of what's causing wheat prices to go up to all-time record highs. Granted, there is new demand. You got China, India, those places. People are going to cut where they can cut. We are seeing now, for example, Liz, this is the first time in the history of the United States where gasoline consumption year over year is flat. It has not grown. So they're cutting back there. Okay, that's going to be one place. The drought's not going to last forever, and that'll help. Orange juice prices, look, I pay less now for a half gallon of orange juice than I did last year. So they're coming down.
Where are you shopping?
I'll tell you later.
But Jim, the thing is that people are still, at least for now, let's hope it continues through the holiday season, they're still buying, you know, $100 sneakers. They're still buying these $1,000 flat screens. So if they're buying this stuff, you got to assume that they're still buying bread, right?
Listen, I think people will cut from a 50-inch plasma to a 42-inch plasma before they start missing meals. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to be the case. I mean, I don't know, like, you know, big shooters like Peter and Mike, they may go to the high-end supermarket. I spend a lot of time at Walmart, Costco. I think a lot of other people are spending more time at those kinds of stores than supermarkets. And, you know, there is a good element to this. Higher food prices mean larger farm incomes, and maybe we can cut some of these huge agricultural subsidies.
Buy Costco stock then, because I think Jim's onto something. Seriously, when people start to get squeezed, they're going to go to stores like that. You saw Costco's numbers look very good lately.
And just for the record, I don't shop at fancy high-end supermarkets, okay?
Also,
I've never been to one of those.
Next year, they're going to have to bring cash because their credit card
my
won't work.
good friend David Asman over here. Omaha Steaks, everybody. What was the question? No.
Once again, Mikey takes us off topic. Wayne, you get to finish this one out.
Well, you know, I think that Mike makes a good point, though, about that.
Wayne, I love you.
Listen, Wayne's going, I know where Wayne's going. He's going to Gelson's and Mrs. Gooch's right there, you know, in Century City and Beverly Hills, Wayne, and good for you.
Ooh, Gelson's and Mrs. Gooch's. It just sounds good.
The best.